folks, welcome back to another live stream. First off, I want to say I do apologize for not having as much regular content videos this week. I was sick for part of the week, and then just getting off being sick, had a lot of stuff backed up. We had the live break last night, and just trying to get it caught up on some other business things. So I will have content coming back regular next week. So sorry about that. But I did want to get something out today. I didn't really, want to take the time to go and make a video and upload it and do all that. I figure I'd just click live and we could just talk about it. It's not going to be one of those marathon lives, 2 hours or whatever. I just wanted to go over some quick points, show you guys some data that's going on, like what I would have been making the video on anyway. And we can just go from there. I might take a few questions at the end. Or I probably will, especially about the Patreon. But other than that, it's not going to be some wild, crazy thing. I'm not going to take up your whole afternoon so everyone can have a good Friday. They don't got to listen to me too much. But all right, first and foremost, I do want to address it right up front so people don't have to listen to the whole video if they're here for that. I did make an announcement in my Discord. And for anyone that is in the Discord and anyone interested, let's talk about it. Nostalgianomics Patreon. Yes, it is coming. The announcement is going to be made Monday. I've had countless people at this point. I mean, I know it sounds like crazy to say countless people, like it's millions of people. It's not millions, but I've had a lot of people reach out for all different forms of help, more specialized help that I can't really give through like a comment or a question answered or things like that. And, I've emailed back and forth and private messaged back and forth people before. And it's taken a long time going back and forth. And the sad truth is, the honest truth is, I just don't have that kind of time. And I'm sorry. It was great when I was, smaller and, before I did this full time and before I had a business to run and things. But it just got to the point where my time spread too thin. I don't have time to, unfortunately, to help every single person out. And so that's what the Patreon is going to be for. One, it's going to be for everyone who wants to support me. As you guys know, this is all basically free. YouTube gives you like a slow IV drip of income, but not really anything. Really all your income, in this space really comes from any kind of business you're running, selling products, selling cards, any other ways you can find to monetize, right? With sponsorships or if anyone wants to help out with affiliate links. But, the first and foremost thing why you would support someone's Patreon, and not just my own, anybody's, right, is just to support their content, to support the furthering of their content and any help you've been given, anything like that. And so that'll be the first thing, right? Second order of business, the memberships will go away here on YouTube. So anyone that's been giving through memberships, you can always just do the same thing on Patreon if you want to support. I will keep the memberships. They will all be reduced down to a 99-cent tier. If you just want to, get access to some cool emojis, I will be adding some new emojis too coming Monday. If you guys just want to have the membership just cause, it's fun or you want to gift them to people and things like that, the memberships will be there, but there's not going to be anything attached to them like it was before. And, it's not going to be like $2 and $5, just give me 99 cents, no obligation type thing. Cool. And everything's going to be moving to the Patreon. One of the reasons is because we are going to keep the 10% off the pack breaks attached to that. So the first benefit of the Patreon is going to be for anyone that takes advantage of any pack breaks, right? You will get 10% off, meaning I don't know if I want to reveal the pricing and all that yet, but basically it's the first way you can get all your value back if you take advantage of enough pack breaks. Basically, it's going to save you more money than the Patreon is going to cost. Cool there. The other benefit you will get, the other value you will get, there will be 2 monthly videos on the Patreon. One is going to be a more in-depth video. Guys, as I said before, I'm not against gatekeeping information. No information is secrets. I've been very clear about that, very vocal about that. There's nothing that I'm going to say behind the Patreon that you probably couldn't go find somewhere else or hear someone else say, maybe in a different way, whatever. What it is for, though, it is going to be more longer form content and it is going to condense a lot of information and a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts, a lot of market data, all in a digestible form. And it is really going to be focused towards anyone who's very serious about this, wants to take their investing serious, their business is serious, their flipping serious, and really wants that more catered to you, personalized information that is going to be of help. And I truly believe, if I didn't believe this, I wouldn't do it. I believe there will be more than enough value for you to get all of the value, all of the money that you put into the Patreon, all the support you give. You will get all that back to you throughout the course of the year with everything given in there. And so that'll be one of the videos. The other video is a really cool idea I have. It's going to be a monthly collection investment audit video. And what that is anyone can sign up for it, right? And if you're shy, you don't have to come on camera. But what it's going to be is, you can make spreadsheets, or you can just have it all up, whatever you want to do. And what is it? It's if you want help. If you have a collection or an investment and you want to let me, and you can ask for others' advice too. We'll all be in a live together, and we can come in there. You can give your goals. You can give what kind of budget you have set up for it. You can have what you're trying to do with your collection, your investments. We can talk about where to buy, where to sell, and just kind of give each person an individual outlook on what the best strategy is on where to go. Like, well, maybe you should think about moving out of some of these items, maybe getting a little more of these items, maybe making this play, making that transaction. And I just think it'd be a really cool way to, really go more in depth on helping like each individual circumstance, more than people wanting to put that out there like on a whole YouTube channel and like what they're doing, what they have, their positions, doing it more on a more closed setting. And so I think that'll be really cool. And then there will be a higher tier if anyone wants like a one-on-one with me, one-on-one Zoom call, video call, phone call, whatever it is, to go over anything you want, whether, talk about investing the whole time, talk about like other types of investments, talk about business, talk about setting up your business, talk about buying and selling, talk about different strategies, anything, any questions you have that normally maybe I went back and forth with people on in the past, on umpteenth million emails or private chats or whatever. That's where it'll move to there. And again, all of this stuff, guys, if you don't have the means to want to support the channel or support me, or you don't see any value in this, no big deal. It's completely optional. This is not something I'm going to be trying to force down people's throats or sell people or try to tell you, well, if you were in the Patreon, you would get all this secret info. No. You guys know me. I am 100% forthright. Like there's no secret info. There's no secret info. I don't care if you go join this guy's, that guy's, or my Patreon. No one's going to be able to give you the secrets to life, right? That's not what this is. It's literally just putting things, it's just more personalized help for those of you that want more of just a more in-depth, serious conversation and less of kind of the surface level stuff that happens on the channel or may happen in the Discord. Which brings me to the Discord. There's been a lot of controversy, a lot of discussion, a lot of arguments about this. This channel has always been about what's good for the many and not what's good for the few. And this channel's always been about to be for everyone. Anyone can do it, which I still believe to this day. Anyone can do this. If you truly want to dedicate yourself and make a living in this business, you can do it. If you want to invest and be successful with investing, and in my opinion, not financial advice, in my opinion, I think I can still beat traditional investments with Pokemon. I believe anyone can still do that. Modern investing, it's open to anyone. It's available for anyone. Anyone can do it. It's not, just for the niches or only people that can afford it or only people that can find it. It's for everyone. And the Discord has been for everyone. It's 100% free. It's open to anyone. I let it get out of hands with some of the things said in there. I let the free speech go too far, where all I really wanted, guys, if you guys don't remember, or if you guys don't know me, I've been banned everywhere. I've been banned on multiple YouTube channels for speaking my mind. Never been vulgar. I've never attacked personally. I've always only attacked the issues or the arguments made by any person. I've been banned off, online forums for making stances or arguments against certain things. So I've been, you could call it silenced, whatever you want to call it, in multiple different places. And so I wanted my I've been banned off Discord, other Discords for being silenced for speaking my mind. So I wanted my Discord to be a place where you can speak your mind on any type of investment related issue, any Pokemon or other TCG related issue. You could go back and forth and actually have heated discussions and debates and disagreements, even with me, the creator, without having fear of getting banned or losing your spot. Unfortunately, this went to a place where I didn't want it to go, into a dark place. We had all sorts of vulgar, things being said, and, racist things and sexist things, and, just talking about kind of political crap. And it went to a place where I didn't want it to be. So I have been forced to have to ban some people. Anyone that I banned that asked to come back, I gave them a second chance, because I truly believe in second chances. I believe anyone can change. And so anyone that's reached out and apologized and said, I'm sorry, I want a second chance, I've let back in. And if they came back in and made the same mistakes again and again, then they were banned again. And so I have started to take action. I will ban, I will delete things that shouldn't be there. And anyone just trying to start trouble and isn't really there for an honest back and forth discussion, honest disagreements. And so because of that, the Discord has become a lot better place. And it's become a lot more inviting, and I'm happy to say it's larger than ever. We have more people in the Discord than ever. I was worried that once I started the banning and once I started to clean things up, a lot of people would get upset with me and they would just start leaving in masses. And I'd start getting a bad name for banning people, but it's the opposite. People are happy again. You have more and more people starting to talk in all the channels. They're not afraid of getting bashed or getting attacked personally anymore, which is great. And so new rules will be assigned to it. Right now, it just says treat others the way you want to be treated. But new rules will be made and assigned because I want it to be inviting. But I want people to still be able. It will never, and I will not let it become an echo chamber. You will always be able to speak your mind on any Pokemon investing, TCG investing, other investing, Bitcoin, crypto, any related issue. You can get heated. You can go back and forth. But if you do not make it personal, don't start attacking them or their families or what they look like. Or as long as you don't do that stuff, it's all good. Have any type of thought you want. And so it is going to stay free. The Discord will stay free. It is not going to be a part of the Patreon. And this was a hard decision to make, and I made it because I think it's the right decision for now. I haven't assigned any moderators yet. I've been moderating it. It's been staying clean. I think a lot of people in this community are smart people. They're good people, and they're going to keep it that way. And, the few bad apples that show up here and there, well, they'll be banned. And they're not banned for their views, and they're not banned for saying things I disagree with, and they're not banned for talking against me. Never. You'll never be banned for those things. But if you're gonna be vulgar and talk about people and personal attack people, we're not allowing that. You will be banned for that. No name calling and all that. And so that's where things are going to stay, guys. So Discord's free. Continue to enjoy it. I appreciate everyone who's a part of it, everyone who supports me in the channel. And the Patreon's going to be just a way to support me above and beyond that. And I do feel like the value you will get in there will be far above anything that it will be charged. And that will be for you to decide. But that will all be announced on Monday. So there you have it. That is that. All right. Let me go ahead and see what the chat's saying before I get into the rest of the video about the investing and all the crazy stuff going on in the market. Pokemon investing has been interesting over the last few months. I'm interested to see today's content. Really enjoyed. Yeah, so we're going to get into it just in a second, Matt. Sorry if you weren't interested in all that stuff. It had to be addressed, but we're going to get into all of it in just a second, Matt. Thank you for being here. This better be good, Alex. Man, hitting us with the Omega. Yeah, man, it's going to be good. I got some good info we're going to get to in a second. Thanks, Mikey. I appreciate the support, man. What is up, everybody, for being here? Thank you. Let's see. Pokey Grinding's in the house. What's up, man? What are those panels behind you? Oh, they got all of Amazon. They're just like 3D wall panels. They're pretty cool. They come in multiple colors. Actually got them. I got the idea from Pokey NE. Pokey NE. Brian pointed me to him. Market Scrapper. I have no issue with Patreon at all, but have to give credit or at least partial credit to PK's prediction. No, PK's prediction was wrong. If you go back and watch the video, PK said I would have a Patreon within 1 year of when he made that statement. It's been over 2 years or almost 2 years since he made that statement. He was dead wrong. So it's wrong. So you gotta go listen. And people said I've been against Patreons. I've never been against Patreons actually. I've been against one person's Patreon once. That's it. because it was sold as having secretive information, and that person had been wrong so many times, and because of their advice, you would have lost hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, hundreds of percent gain, and missed out on hundreds of percent gain in Modern. And so I'm not going to name the person's name, but I was against one person in their Patreon. That was it. I've never been against anyone and their communities supporting them ever. Let's see. Do you feel you're spreading yourself too thin? Instagram, YouTube, Discord, Patreon, whatnot. It could be difficult to provide good content. No, I'm not, because changes are being made. I just had actually a meeting with my whatnot rep this morning, and I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's a good question about spreading myself too thin. Whatnot is really taking action hard with creators right now, and they're willing to put a lot behind you. It's just they do ask for a lot in return. And so I don't know if that's going to be a direction I'm going to go. So, you know, there will still be changes going forward. Here's the thing. I like opening packs. All right. That's why I do pack breaks. Whatnot. There are people that do well with pack breaks, but a lot of it, and you know what I'm hearing from a lot of people and a lot of the reps I talk to, they're really wanting you to push towards like singles or slabs or like other things. And that's just not fun for me. I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't want to go out and constantly buy all these collections and all these cards and auction all these singles and slabs all the time. I like opening packs. And if packs are too, don't go as well, or packs are too oversaturated, or they have whatever, then so be it. Like, you know, pack breaking will be something I do once a week on my channel for fun. But that's the thing, guys. I do what I believe in. I do what I have fun with, and just I don't do things just to try to make money. And so, you know, there's certain things where if I'm being pushed to do things and I don't like it, I just won't do it type thing. And so I'm having to make real decisions about that right now. What I want to do with the whole whatnot situation. So nothing's decided as of yet, but yeah. So, you know, there might be time being switched to these other things that I'm put more effort into besides, you know, those types of things. But good question, Pokey Grinding. Okay, that's pretty much everything about that stuff. Okay, Andrew said, meeting with the Kobold this morning. Is this where the paywall's coming from? Just kidding, all love. Jess, you didn't miss much. I just talked about the Patreon starting on Monday, and the Discord is going to remain free. That's all. All right, guys. And Class That says, I can vouch Discord's 100% better. Yeah. You know, and anyone in the Discord knows, like, you can say anything you want. Like, you can disagree with any of my takes. You can talk about anything you want. You guys can go back and forth, head to head, get in heated conversations. Just don't attack people personally. Don't make it sexist and racist and political, and just don't do all that crap. And we're good. We're good. That's all it is. So, all right, let's get into some of this video. All right, so listen, guys. It is no secret that Evolving Skies is through the freaking roof. If you haven't been paying attention, Evolving Skies is selling for $650. $650. The chart hasn't even caught up yet. The chart's way up here. So in a year now, Evolving Skies was trading in around $380 to $400 range, and now it's selling for $650. So we're seeing about a 60%, 70% price rise in a matter of a year. In a matter of a month, it's went from in the high 400s to the mid 600s. I mean, this is wild, right? This is absolute craziness. We can go look here. There's a few like brand new zero feedback sellers that are trying to throw some real low boxes in there. Look, not going to say anything bad about them. Maybe they're legitimate. Maybe they're just trying to offload stuff. Maybe it's fake. I don't know. But any of the legitimate sellers, okay, they're selling their boxes for in the 645 to 650 range. And then you can say, well, that's TCG Player, Alex. What about eBay? Well, eBay's the same way. eBay, you have Australia, Canadian listings, but the lowest listings are now over $600 if you're not buying at auction. So this is a $600 to $650 plus box now. If you look at the sales, here you go, 600, you have 615 with shipping. You've got, $600 even. You've got 625. This is what the cost, guys. This is what the box is at. All right. That's the market price. So Evolving Skies. Now, there was some conversation in Discord. Again, I was going back and forth with someone who had a different view than me. People think it's too much too fast. It's being manipulated. It's all the same stuff, guys. Here's the thing. I've been around this hobby, like I said, for 9 years. I've heard the same thing every set. Every naysayer, and not saying anyone's that's saying it's too much too fast with a naysayer, but every single time a product moves up, everyone's, thinks there's something wrong, right? Well, it's being manipulated. It must be buyouts. It's investors, or it's whatever it may be. But what's funny? Do you notice that every time anything dips, it's business as usual? Oh yeah, it's dipping. No big deal. Why is it when things go down, it's not, oh, it must be manipulated down. It's all the big sellers all dumping product to crash the price so they can buy up everyone else's product. It's all manipulated down to the downside. No, you never hear that. People only have a problem when things go up. Do you notice that? And in the live last week, I showed you singles are different with sealed products. And other than the big, gigantic pandemic boom, with sealed product, when it goes up, it usually doesn't come back down. Now, it can plateau and it can stagnate. That's what happened to Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies hit $400 a box pretty quickly, but then it stayed in that $400 to $500 range for like a year. It didn't move, right? And so you have to understand is that sealed product doesn't usually have big booms and busts. It has booms, and then it has times of like a trading range where it goes stagnant. It has ups and downs within a range before its next uptick. And because the reason for that is because there's less and less of it every day. And not only that, when people buy in at a certain price point, they're looking to sell or looking to hold. If they're a collector, looking to open it, or if they're an investor, looking to sell at a high enough price point to realize enough gain. And so when they buy in at certain levels, they're not looking to sell until it reaches higher. And so all the boxes disappearing from the market right now, they've all been sitting in that range of 400 to 500 with a lot of the big supplies, the big sellers all selling out. What happened is those big stashes are gone. All the big sellers are sold out. The boxes are now in the hands of permanent collectors, long-term investors, pack openers, maybe got some, but the supply's gone. And everyone that bought in that $400 to $500 range, they're not looking to sell at $550, $600, $650, right? They're looking to sell in the long-term future. They're not looking to basically make no money after shipping and fees. And so you're going to continue to have so many less sellers compared to the amount of demand and buyers. That's what's pushing the price up so drastically. It's not manipulated. This is what FOMO looks like. This is what it looks like when people say, I guess I don't have more time. I guess if I want to own an Evolving Skies box, it's now or never. Because there's a good chance I'm never going to be able to find this box again cheaper than what it is now. I'm not saying it's going to go to the moon tomorrow. What I'm saying is it's most likely never going to be a $500 box again. Those days are gone. And this happens time and time again in every single situation, like Team Up, right? Team Up went all the way up. Team Up's not crashing. It's just staying stagnant. There's low sales volume. It's illiquid, but it's not crashing. And the same thing happened with a lot of these sets. It's like they reach new heights and they kind of go stagnant. So I don't see Evolving Skies crashing from here, guys. I know people think it's going to come back down. I really don't see it. We'll see what happens. Fusion Strike. There is such a thing in this hobby as timing the market. A lot of people love the time in the market Warren Buffett approach, and it's great. But for those of you that like timing things, there's a great way to know when to time the market. And that is when the Pokemon Center sells out. And as we know, Pokemon Center sold out of Fusion Strike not too long ago. And we saw this right here, this big spike from Pokemon Center pricing to $180, $185 a box. So that's right. Fusion Strike is now lowest listing now is $190. Selling for $180, $185. Now it's $190 a box. Literally, I don't know, a month after it sold out or less, it sold out on Pokemon Center. What happens, guys? People think they have forever. It's because we're told this lie, right? This lie is perpetuated by all the bearish people on YouTube and the negative modern people on YouTube that this stuff is endless. Pokemon prints it to the moon. It will never run out. Here's the truth. It freaking runs out. And it's running out right now before your eyes. And people refuse to believe it. And it's just going to keep going higher, guys. I mean, I don't see Fusion Strike crashing. I see maybe it'll go stagnant. Maybe it'll see what kind of what Chilling Reign's doing, right? Chilling Reign's kind of going stagnant to be given back maybe 5%. But we're not going to see it drop back down 30% or something, guys. Those days are gone. And Fusion Strike, if you want it, it's a $190 box now. If you can find it cheaper on eBay, great. But this is what it is. Lost Origin. Reprint came. Everyone's got a million years. You'll be able to find this forever. This reprint was huge. Don't buy Lost Origin. It's $110 a box again. Well, now it's back up to $160. This is a $160 box. It is now eclipsing its year high. Its year high was back in the high 160s. It's back there. You're seeing sales now at 165. So this chart hasn't caught up. It's way up here. It's from here to here. That's Lost Origin, guys. Again, Lost Origin. Not sold out at Pokemon Center yet. You can still buy the 143.64 with tax. I would expect when that sells out to see this chart even go more parabolic, break this 169 mark, and it'll probably be similar to Fusion Strike in the high 100s. Again, like I said at the beginning of the year, my predictions, I think most all of these boxes will be 200 plus by the end of the year. We're already seeing, signs of it happening. Battle Styles may be the only one that won't make it there, in my opinion. Silver Tempest, another one. Still in stock at Pokemon Center. We heard, the reprint. Oh, Silver Tempest is crap. We have the God packs and the God, sleeve blisters and the God products at Costco. Everyone's pulling Lugia Alt Arts. No one's going to want these things. No one wants Silver Tempest. It sucks, whatever. Well, Silver Tempest, $140 box again. Lowest list on TCG Player, 140. We're seeing sales in the 140s. Silver Tempest, $140. I even think Silver Tempest, after it sells out on Pokemon Center, will end up getting in the high 100s into $200 by the end of 2024. Just my personal prediction, but it is already moving. Now let's go look at some other things. Shining Legends. Shining Legends out of nowhere, right? It was having a massive downtrend, right? Down in the 260s, and then out of nowhere, lowest list, 325. Sales, 292, 290. What happened? All the low listing supply all dried up. I think eBay, we still have a couple listings under 300, but even eBay's back up to 300 plus in ETB. Random price movements on Shining Legends because all these people are going back and they're starting to say, what else? What else is still low that or had a dip recently that may not have a lot of product left that should probably scoop up before everyone else does and it starts to shoot up? Well, Shining Legends starting to see massive movements. Paldea Evolved. $107 to $10 booster box. All right. The booster cases, there's only one seller on TCG Player that is under $600 a case. On eBay, there's 2 sellers that are less than $600 a case. Then it moves up to $600, and the booster boxes themselves are all over $100. We have one right here that someone just put 20% off of. That's it. Even the auctions are going higher. And so there you have it. Paldea Evolved. Scarlet Violet era. All this stuff's trash. It's going to be $80, $90 forever. We're already seeing these boxes move up in the mid and high 100s. We might even see them in the 110s, 120s by the end of the year if no reprints come. But again, it's endless, right? It's endless. Where are all those big sellers at? Where are all those big sellers with all those cheap cases that they blew out for nothing? They're all gone. They all dried up. Last thing let's talk about. Let's talk about population reports and the fundamentals. You guys, hold on, you guys know how much I love the fundamentals, right? It's what happened when a lot of these YouTubers and these Pokemon investment people came up during YouTube in the earlier days, and they wanted a way to explain why all the investments that they own, by the way, they own a lot of the cards they used to pump up. They wanted to explain why a lot of those cards were the best cards to own. And it's brilliant. They are brilliant people. The idea they came up with was, well, let's make it all about the fundamentals. Let's say because the populations are low and because it's rare, those reasons, that's why you should put all your money into it. Well, what if it's not really high demand? What if the Pokemon's not popular? What if not really anyone even knows about it or even wants that card? No, don't worry about that. It's rare and it's low pop. That's what you should go after. And I'm like, well, hey, I'm on board with you on some of that. Like, if I look at like a first edition base Charizard, it's rare, it's low pop, but it's super popular and super in demand, so I'm good. Or you look at like a jungle, first edition Jolteon, or a fossil first edition Dragonite, or you look at like a shining, Gyarados, or a shining Charizard, shining Mew. I look at those and I'm like, okay, I'm with you. Super popular species, super popular Pokemon, super popular, cards, high demand cards, highly sought after, and they're low pop and rare. I'm with you. But then they start going crazy. Like, no, look at this random 2008 card. Super low pop, super rare. This is going to go to the moon. No, you lost me. And then they took it one step further and they started saying, hey, you cannot invest, all right? Modern cards are not investable because the populations are too high. If they have high population and they're not rare and they're too overly printed, can't go up. Can't invest in those. Don't do it. I would rather invest in a 100 population card that no one knows about or cares about than invest in a Moonbryon because it's got too high a population. Well, they're eating their words yet again the same way they're all eating their words on Modern Sealed with the Moonbryon. So we're going to get into the scarcity in a minute because it's actually more scarce than almost any vintage card on the market. And I'm going to show you any low pop card, anything you want to say. If you look at percentage numbers, we're going to get into that in a second. But this card is now selling near $1,000, $950 to $1,000 on the market. All right. Here are the recent sales from January. This was a $660 card. We have $690 here, $660. We got $741. We've got $760s. So you can see it was all over the $600 and $700 range. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and go to ended recently. 930, 940s, 900, 990, 960, 975. We've seen about a 20% uptick recently, even almost 30% in some cases on the Moonbryon. If you guys don't know population reports, this has a 13,000 total graded. 10,000 of those are a 10, meaning the percentage of a 10 to total graded, it's not a hard card to grade. It has, so let's, to all the people who are about all the fundamentals, it is objectively not a conditional rarity card. It does not have a high conditional rarity because it's very easy to get a 10. It's obviously not a rare card to find. It's a very hard card to pull, but there's over 13,000 graded. There's more raw, and it's got 10,000 of them in 10s. So it's not rare, right, by definition. But does that necessarily mean it can't have value? Well, it's got $1,000 value, which is already more valuable than most cards that have a lower population or whatever it may be. Okay. The other thing we need to talk about is scarcity. This card, okay, we're gonna get the old handy dandy calculator up here just to show you what I'm talking about so you understand. Okay. This card has only 53 results on the total market in a PSA 10. If you scroll down, you'll see we could probably even find some that aren't even the actual listing. There'll be some Beckett and something, or like, something like this, or, so it probably has less than 53, but we'll just say 53. Okay. The total amount of 10s is 10,407. All right. So we have 53 divided by 10,407 total population. There is a 0.005. That is less than 1% of them available on the market. To give you an idea of this, all right, I was looking up Shining Charizards, but I thought we could go to the big boy himself. First edition base set PSA 10 Charizards. We won't even count Gary's listing. It doesn't even count, right? There's 1, 2, 3 on the market, okay? There's 3 Charizards on the market with a population of 123, all right? So if we take 3 divided by 123, even the first edition base Charizard is not as scarce as the Moonbryon when you take in percentages. Let that sink in. By the way, I was looking at the Shiny Charizard. That one's even more. And you could look up any card you want. You can look up Shinings and Crystals and Gold Stars and most of them. You might be able to find some that aren't even listed. They're that scarce. Most cards on the market, I would say 99% of the cards on the market are less scarce than the Moonbryon PSA 10 by the numbers. There are so few available compared to the total population. It's mind-blowing. And the reason for this is people actually want the card. They're holding on to it. It has organic demand. They're not selling it. It's in permanent collections, in permanent investments, and they just don't come to market. There's 50 on the market out of 10,000. I mean, you can find other cards that have a population of 300 that have 30 on the market. They have like 10% of their entire population on the market sitting, waiting for someone to buy, and no one's buying them. And because of this, we have these massive price spikes on Moonbryons, and we could on modern cards. And so this lie that's been perpetrated that you can only invest in super rare, super sought after niche items because a lot of those people own those super rare, super sought after niche items. It's not the truth. It's being proven wrong every day. This lie that modern seal wasn't investable because there's too much of it and everyone's doing it and everyone's got stock holds in their basement and who's going to buy this stuff in the future? There'll be no customers. It's all lies, guys. I mean, it's been proven lies the whole time I've been on YouTube. I mean, for the past years and years, and people are still going with it, right? They're still trying to hold on. And I've come to the conclusion, I know why. And I'll tell you why. This is my opinion. People become very emotional when it comes to things they own or things they believe in. And when you attach yourself to a certain stance or a certain belief for so long, it becomes a part of you, right? And you almost can't go against it. Even if you see data, even if you see results and you see actual sales and even if you see any proof in the world, you won't let yourself go against what you have made your stance on or made your belief on. And it's the reason why there's these big arguments and these back and forths happening, these debates, is because people, they won't give up their viewpoint even if they've been proven wrong. They'll just come up with more reasons why. Well, yeah, that's just happening now because of, they'll come up with XYZ. It's because the markets are up and Bitcoin's up and, there's a mania right now. It's still irrational behavior. The demand's still too high. Wait for 10, 20, a million years, then it'll come down. We've been waiting years already. It's the same story. And I think that's what it is. It's because it's become so emotional and people don't want to admit when they're wrong. And so it's okay. I get it. But guys, the truth is demand, popularity, popular Pokemon, the things people seek after, that's what is going to continue to perform well going forward. Whether it be the oldest vintage, whether it be mid-era, whether it be modern, the pop reports, they become such a minute, such a small portion of why things move, right? It helps, right? It's a factor, but only after that card is sought after, it's a popular Pokemon, and it has some sort of organic demand that isn't being driven by speculation or by other people pumping it and getting people to like it, right? And so you can see cards, do well, and I think that's what people do is they forget the popularity aspect, and so they'll see things like they'll see like a Shining Gyarados or a Shining Charizard or a Crystal Lugia do well, and they'll immediately think, well, every Shining Pokemon, every Crystal's gonna do well because they're all rare and they all have low pop reports. It's like, no, because not everyone cares about every single card. Or these mid-era Pokemon are doing well, so all of these they're all rare and they're all going to be sought after. No, they're not. They're not all going to be sought after. Very small percentages of cards are going to be sought after. And it's the same exact, scenario you can play with Modern. You can look at Moonbryon and say, well, all the Altarts are going to be sought. All of the Altarts are going to see these kind of gains. No, they're not. They're not. You can't go buy all the Altarts and PSA 10s just because even though they have high pop reports, they're all going to perform like Moonbryon. They're not. It's just the nature of this game. Others will. You might have, the Gengars and the Garatinas and the Lugias and Charizards. You might have other very popular Pokemon sought after cards do well, but it doesn't mean you can go buy every single Altart, all the unpopular ones in every set, and they're all going to see these massive gains. It doesn't work that way. And so when you're investing in singles, you have to be very experienced. You have to understand all the aspects of why things move and not just chase one aspect of them and think that's going to save you. It's not. And in the same way, you can't just write off anything with a high population or anything that's not super rare, super niche, because you're writing off a whole aspect of why things move in this hobby and collectibles in general. And so basically everything we're seeing right now, guys, these are very normalized moves. You'll have the naysayers and the bears say, this is irrational movement again. This is mania. This is a new boom because of crypto and because the markets are up. And guys, there's nothing that's moving erratic right now. If you watch any stock, right? Any stock that breaks out of an all-time high or a 52-week high, it runs. It usually runs for a good amount of time because it's finally broken that barrier. That's the same thing that happened with Evolving Skies, right? It finally broke out of that trading range where it's been trading at $400 to $500. It finally broke out after 6 months, a year's time, and it's running, right? It's not being manipulated. It's not being bought out. It's running because people are figuring out the supply is gone. I need to get into this if I want to own this and don't want to pay $1,000+ for it in the future. Same thing with Umbreon VMAX. People are starting to say, I've waited around forever. Everyone told me this was going to drop. It's not dropping. Everyone told me the market was going to flood. It's not flooding. There's only 50 available out of 10,000. Maybe I should pick one up if I want to own this in my collection before it's too late. Because here's the thing, guys. We live in this little bitty trapped bubble on YouTube where we listen to all these few voices. There's millions and tens of millions worldwide that want these freaking cards, and there's only 10,000 of them. You have millions of people fighting over 10,000 Moonbreons, and very few are being graded now. With the big grading craze is over, we'll see the population continue to trend up, of course, but it's not going to have these leaps and bounds. We're not going to see it hit 15, 20,000 population anytime soon. The big grading boom of Moonbreon's over. We'll see it trick up little by little, but I'm just telling you, just understand why things move before you just buy into one particular belief, right? And don't get emotional about it. Right? Investing, you cannot get emotional about this. You can't get angry things are moving or angry things aren't moving. All you can ask is why, right? And the only way to find out why is to look around and listen. Watch and listen. Watch what the majority of people are buying and like. Get on Whatnot streams, right? Look at what the majority of people are bidding on and seeking after, what the bidding wars are happening on. Get on eBay, get on TCG Player, look at the sales volumes of certain things, right? Just listen to people in your local card shops. Understand what people legitimately just want and they like. That's where the money's heading. Not where some investor person on YouTube is trying to tell you it's going to head because they probably own a big position in that thing. So that's what I got to say about that. Let's see what I see. I already see some of my favorite people in the world in the chat. Let's see what the chat's saying about all this good stuff. All right, let me see where we're at. I'm so far behind. I'm going to do my best to catch up. All right, what is going on? Where are we? Okay. All right. Guys, if I miss your question, feel free to leave it again. I'm not going to go all day with this. I will take some questions, though. Let's see. And guys, if you're asking any questions off topic, I'll take those in a separate Q&A. I'm going to try to keep this one on topic because I don't want to go all day. So it's really just me questions pertaining to anything I talked about today. Yeah, the Discord is better. It's going to continue to be better. I'm not going to allow any of the things happening like I did before. Alex, look at the sales rate before Evolving Skies shot out. There was a buyout. Dr. Light, it can look like a buyout. What it is people start to. What you don't understand is this market's so broad. Okay, if there's only under 100 supply of something, and thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are watching these things, and they don't currently have an Evolving Skies box, or they're looking to move more into position of it, and they start seeing those sales get lower and lower and lower, it can trigger them to start buying before it sells out of FOMO. That is not necessarily a buyout. It got bought out quickly, but it's not like it doesn't mean it was a strategic buyout of the item. It's because people are realizing the supply is gone. The big sellers are done. There's no more left. So it's just two ways of looking at things, man. It's not going to dump, man. I'm telling you right now, I don't think it's going to dump. And guys, like I said, sorry if I'm skipping your question. I'm only taking the ones that are on topic. I'll take all questions in another Q&A in the future. When was the buyout? Yeah, like, when was the... Here's the thing, guys. I see this every time. I've been in this hobby 9 years. Every single time anything goes up, there's always something wrong with it. Anytime something goes down, it's, yeah, I saw it coming, business as usual. And then people hide behind this term of realistic, right? Well, we're just being realistic, Alex. Guys, things move up as naturally as things go down. It is the natural ebbs and flows of the ever-living market, all right? Things going up is nothing different than going down. There's nothing nefarious going on. There's no manipulation or buyouts or evil investors. It's the market. Things go up. Deal with it. Look at the stock market right now. Is everything manipulated? Bitcoin, all manipulated, all the cryptos? No. People are moving into it in masses because they don't want to miss out, or they believe in it. They believe in that. It's not, this isn't this big scheme of moving these modern markets that, here's the thing. Here's the greatest part too. I love this. Usually the same people crying out manipulation and buyouts were the same people before saying, don't invest in modern. If there's too much of it, it's too plentiful. Everyone's got it. Everyone's doing this. All the stores have, stock rooms full of it. It's never going to move. It's like, so which one is it? Is there way too much of it, or is it being manipulated because there's so little of it that it can be manipulated? You can only manipulate something when a few people can own large amounts of the supply, right? You can manipulate vintage markets because there's so few of it. You can't manipulate a freaking modern booster box. Let's be honest. Unless you're admitting there's so few of them. So is there very few of it, and it can be manipulated, or is there just too much of it? And at that point, it can't be manipulated. Too many people own it. You see what I'm saying? You see where that gray area? Like, you got to pick your battles. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking through the comments. I'm back at 104, so I'm actually getting pretty close to catching up, which is good. Paladin card. To see all your comments, man. Appreciate all the input in the chat. Fausto, I do not. I sold both my PSA 10 Moonbryons. I had two of them. I sold them both. Just cash flow thing. Just a cash flow thing. Here's the thing. Like, I'm more confident in Evolving Skies continuing to rise and having stabilization in pricing than I am Moonbryon, because, Moonbryon can have crazy swings up and down. And, I'm just not. I'm actually more conservative than you think with my investing. That's why I stick mostly to sealed. You can make crazy gains in singles, but I like the conservative nature of sealed. It's very proven. It's very easy. It's very it's very predictable gains. And as long as I'm doubling my money every 4 or 5 years on that, I'm happy. If it goes more than that, great. But I'm just trying to always beat the S&P and traditional investments with sealed, and that's what usually happens. Singles, man, it's all over the place. But also because I run a business now, and so I did technically buy them to grade and sell as a business, and so I did get to the point where I just wanted to sell them type thing. I didn't buy them as an investment. Here we are, Godly Shad. He always brings up the Hidden Fates Charizard. He Godly Shad, we talk a lot, but he cherry picks things, try to prove points. But Hidden Fates Charizard, similar price history of Moonbryon. He eventually got overshadowed by Moonbryon. The price history held on flat. Yeah, guys, again, I'm not saying just because Moonbryon moved and it's got a high population that every card that has a high population will always move. I'm not saying that. I'm not cherry picking things. I'm just saying that the population is such a small factor of why a card moves, right? The demand, the popularity, the sought afterness of the actual species, and the actual scarcity, the supply on the market that it has been on the market for time. Those are the things that move markets, not as much like the population, because as I said before, guys, rarity is just a number. Rarity is just how many of something exists. If no one cares about it, it means nothing. Clickers usually like sets. So yes, all shinings can do well. Same with crystals, with crystal golems, 20% the last year. I picked up mine. Yeah, and here's another thing Godly Shad likes to do. I gotta pick on you, man, because you do this. He takes like movements of things where, you know, it'll dip, like things will dip and there'll be like a low sale and then they'll kind of come back up and then there'll be like a technical gain, but like if you look at like the long thing, there won't, like a 2-3 year chart pattern, there's not really much gain, and say it's a 20% gain. So it's like, yeah, there are always plays to be made, right? There's always plays to be made with the ups and downs of the market, right? You know, when Lost Origin came out, you could have bought Lost Origin. See, like technically I could say I bought Lost Origin at 110 and now it's selling for 160. I made a, you know, whatever that is, a 50% gain. You know, realistically, yeah, but you know, technically, what if you were holding it before the reprint? I mean, and so it's like, it all depends on when you bought in and when you sold type thing. And here's the thing, like just because it made a 50% gain now, I don't expect to make a 50% gain every single year. So it's like, maybe you buy a card, it's up 20%. It doesn't mean it's going to go up 20% every single year. You know, Crystal Golem, I mean, Golem's not like a terrible Pokemon, but, you know, collecting sets, it can have some legitimacy to it. You know, sets are definitely more sought after than just random cards. But it's like, where does it end, right? Like the further we get into the future and the more sets that come out, the more people are going to have to collect. And it's just, I mean, you could say it's not an objective truth because art's subjective, but it's basically majority agreed upon objectivity that the new arts are just so much better than most old arts. And so people are going to be more likely to collect a lot of the newer things that look more closely to the newer stuff before they start going back and collecting the old things, and people's dollars are only go so far. And so it's going to be very hard for that money to make it back to sets that people don't have connections to, especially Pokemon that aren't popular or sought after. So, you know, it could happen, but it's less likely is my point. I don't rule anything out. It's just less likely. And we have to, you know, invest on things that are more likely. Better percentage chances. We should never use personal bias. I agree. I don't know how else to say it. Guys, I am a 90s kid. I was born in 1990, okay? I grew up everything Pokemon. Had all my Pokemon backpack, Pokemon lunchbox binder, you know, watched the anime every single morning. Played every single game that came out, every Game Boy game, the Pokemon trading card game, you know, Stadium 2, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Coliseum, everything, right? Collected all the cards. I had the biggest Pokemon collection of all my friends in the neighborhood and at school. I was the Pokemon kid, right? Love Pokemon, love all the vintage. You have to get to a point where you can be objective, right? It sounds like I'm being biased against things. I'm not. I'm being objective in saying, when you look at all the statistics that we see, all the data, when you go into any, you know, streams, like look at all the majority of what's happening on YouTube and Twitch and the whatnot, it shows the majority of people prefer modern. And the majority of money is moving towards modern. Guys, I have people reach out to me that are worth more money than probably anyone in this chat, including you, Godly Chat. I mean, I'm talking that have Deca millions and some of them $100 million net worths. No joke. No joke. People that own companies that believe in modern sealed, that they're putting a portion of their portfolio into modern sealed investments. They're not asking me about putting their money into some random niche, one of one or one of whatever card or low pop card. They're not interested in that. And you see the flow, right? You're seeing the flow. There's been a shift, and you can't be emotional about that, right? Guys, 99% of everything I owned and collected was vintage before the boom. Everything. I owned all the WotC theme decks. I owned most of the WotC first edition boxes. I didn't own first edition base, but I owned all those boxes, right? And I stopped after Gym Challenge. I had all the different variants of base set, right? I had the blisters. I had the first edition blister. I had the shadowless packs. I had the long crimp packs, the short crimp packs, the 1999 2000 print packs. I had the black triangle packs. Jungle Fossil had all the different packs, had all the first edition packs all the way through Gym Challenge because I collected first gen. Southern Islands. I had, I could go on and on. I never got Trainer Deck A and B, unfortunately, but tons of different vintage slabs that I a lot of them cracked myself. Some I bought. Opened the cards, graded myself. Some I bought. A lot of vintage binders. The list goes on and on. What else can I say? Like, I was a vintage lover. That's what I collected. That's what I invested in because I saw the potential. The reason I shifted is because I saw the market shift. You have to be able to separate yourself from what you like as an investor. If you're a collector, don't worry about it. You have to be able to separate yourself from what you like and look at what is happening and make your bets based on what you see the best potential of going up. I saw that with modern sealed and some modern, cards as well, but I continue to see that to this day. The market has not shifted back. There's no, signs of any shifting. It's just getting stronger. The momentum's building. XY Sun and Moon boxes, they just keep going through the roof. They keep becoming less and less available. I've been looking for some to open for box breaks. It's so hard to find them. Fewer and fewer are getting listed at auction. People are holding steady to their buy it now prices. They're going up, up, and up. And modern is just becoming less and less available, more and more sought after. Even Scarlet Violet's starting to get some love and starting to get bought. It's very clear to see, especially now with the Moonbryon, even 10,000 pop reports can't keep it on the market and keep it down. It's very clear to see what the majority of people getting into this hobby that are in this hobby want. And you have to take that into account. Now, sure, there are good vintage and mid-era plays, right? You can definitely speculate that people are going to want to go back and collect their favorite Pokemon, the most sought-after Pokemon on the whole hobby, right? And some of the most sought-after cards because they're the first print or the first edition or the first appearance, whatever it may be, or it's a specialty, release where they're super rare, like a Gold Star or a Crystal or a Shining. There's arguments to be made for that, but they're very few and far between arguments, and they're still very risky. You got to take risk into account. When you can move into modern boxes at $90, $80, $90, $100, even $120, $140, your risk is so small. Your biggest risk is staying stagnant and not making money, maybe seeing a little dip. That's your biggest risk, right? And then your upside potential is what we've seen with every other modern booster, every other booster box in the history of Pokemon. It goes up over time. When you're moving into cards, even though a card may have hit $10,000 during the boom and now it's $5,000 or $3,000 and it seems like a good deal, it may be, but it's still very risky. That card can still go to $2,000 or $1,000. It can happen. Not saying it will. What I'm saying is it's still very risky compared to moving into modern sealed, and it's less proven. Sealed booster boxes are proven across all different hobbies. Pokemon especially, to move up in value as they go out of print. And so it just makes the most financial sense. Now, if you're talking about blurring the lines of collecting and investing, well, then we can talk about a different story. But I agree with you. It should not be emotional, and you should be able to be objective with it. So that's all I got to say about that. I'm not against vintage. I'm just against people taking unnecessary risks when there's a lot more guaranteed plays in Modern. Yeah, I think loose Evolving Skies packs will rise. I think the pack breakers will continue. All the whatnot and drip and all the people like me, right? I don't like to buy loose packs though, so I don't do it. But you know, they're going to continue to buy out all those loose pack slots to be able to sell on their streams because the price of the boxes are moving up, and I think those are going to go like wildfire and continue to go. So the more those disappear from the market, yeah, the higher prices will go on the packs too. I think. I like that play right now. You know, Team Up blew through $1,000. You know, I'm trying to think of other sets, you know, like Evolutions definitely hit a barrier at 1,000. And then going back, I mean, you know, sets like Ancient Origins and XY Base definitely hit their walls at around 1,000, but Flashfire blew through 1,000. It stuck at 350, 400 for a while. And then it moved up to around 1,000, but it blew through it pretty quickly. So it seems like the best sets in the era, they kind of transcend their era, right? They transcend it. Same thing with Moonbryon. Moonbryon is so, it's so, you know, crucial to this hobby now, almost like a base set Charizard for the modern generation. It's bigger than Sword and Shield, right? It's bigger than graded cards. Same thing with Evolving Skies. I think Evolving Skies is like a Flashfire or a Team Up. I think it's already transcended Sword and Shield, right? I don't know if there is a ceiling for Evolving Skies at 1,000. That's just me. Will there be some that will there be selling pressure there? Probably. You'll have people that bought in right now at the $400 to $500 range that want to double their money, and they probably will take profits around 1,000. You will have that, you know, that initial glass ceiling mindset of people. Oh, it's at 1,000. What should I do? But I think it can blow past 1,000 when it gets there. I don't know when it's going to get there, though. I'm not saying it's going to run all the way to 1,000 this year, but I think Evolving Skies, the sky's the limit. You know, Team Up did it. I don't see why Evolving Skies can't. I'm not trying to pump Evolving Skies, guys. Like, I'm just giving you my opinion. Here, I'll give you full transparency. I don't have a lot of Evolving Skies. I sold my Evolving Skies into the first pump, right? I had 0. I had to buy back in. I bought back in the high 300s, low 400s. And all I have is 9 boxes. 9 or 10 boxes. I think I'm trying to think if I'm counting the one on my display shelf or not. 9. All I have is like 9 or 10 Evolving Skies. So I don't have this massive position I can pump. It'd be much more beneficial to me to pump Chilling Reign or Fusion Strike. I have much more of those than Evolving Skies. So, I think Evolving Skies is going to do well. I'm not selling any of mine, but I believe in it. That's why I'm saying this. But no, I don't have like this gigantic, massive cases to the ceiling position. I'm just telling you how I feel. So, I mean, you could say I'm trying to shill my 9 or 10 boxes, whatever. Wow. I'm in a Facebook group of 20,000. Someone had an In Search Of post of a Moonbryon PSA 10 3 days ago. Not a single comment. That's wild. No one wants to get rid of it right now. Paladin Cards, new member. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. How do you feel about investing into trying to get as many as you can of, let's say, a Jungle Snorlax First Edition 9 or 10, possibly control a portion of the population? Yeah, so that's what I would do if I wanted to invest in single cards. I would try to get a position in them the same I would in a booster box, right? You know, I would look to get, you know, because here's the thing, it's like just buying one of something, it's very hard. You know, it's fun to look at the percentage gains. Like, I made, you know, 20, 30%, but it's like, okay, so what, did it go from 500 to 600? You know, it's like after shipping and fee, you made a little bit of money. I mean, I would want to get a position. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. If you believe in Jungle Snorlax and that's a play you want to make and you believe in that investment, yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea to make a play. Now, again, it's risky. it's risky, but yeah, I mean, Jungle Snorlax, look, it's the top Pokemon in the set. You know, you would think it's Jolteon, but I think it's actually Snorlax. And, you know, loved Pokemon, sought after. It's first print. You know, Jungle is right up there with base set and Fossil for being popular. It could do well. But yeah, I like the idea of buying multiple copies. I mean, I will talk about, you know, I don't know if anyone, I talked about it before. Me and a friend of mine used to do, we used to actually do buyouts back in the day of cards. When I would see cards that had very high exponential 10 rates, like 10 prices to their 9 counterparts, and I saw an opportunity to buy out the market on those 9s, I would do that. And so, you know, there were times in the past where, like one of the buyouts, I believe, I know we did it on Team Rocket, on the Team Rocket Magneton, Team Rocket's Magneton, on like, I believe, Brock's Grit, or not Brock, it was just Brock and Gym Heroes. There were some other cards too. What was another one? I'm trying to think of others, but like, you know, with the Magneton, it was, the PSA 10 was going for like thousands, like $2,000 to $4,000 depending on the sale, and the 9 was like 100 and something. And so, and there was only like 10, 12, 13 9s in the market. And so, you know, we would buy out the whole market, all 13 copies. Didn't matter if it was from, you know, Australia, UK. I buy every single one in the market. And as another one, as if anyone tried to list one, I'd buy it out. Another one got listed, I'd buy it, and I continued to buy them out until people started to see this and they started to rise their prices higher and higher and higher until I got in like the 300, 400, 500s. And then we started selling our copies and started realizing our gains on them. And so, you know, that's always something you can do when you control, you know, a good portion of the market, and they're very scarce to find on the market. You can make plays like that too. A lot of people are against this type of thing. You know, they see it as scummy. You know, it is what it is. It's a thing that happens, guys. It's the open market. These things happen. You know, they are definitely ways to, you could say, manipulate the market, but it's just supply and demand, right? I mean, as people see no supply and the prices go higher, they're more willing to pay it, and you can capitalize on those kind of things. So that's all I really got to say about that. Long-term gain on Lost Origin compared to Fusion and Chilling. I really think I think I originally, and this is me being wrong, right? But I'm okay being wrong because I own all those sets, right? I originally thought Chilling and Fusion would be better because I just think the Pokemon, I just think that the Lost Origin is carried by the Giratina. And I just feel like Chilling and Fusion are much deeper sets. Like, yeah, you could say Lost Origin's got the, you know, the trainer gallery with some Pikachus and things, and it's got the Aerodactyl, but I just feel like Fusion and Chilling are deeper sets. But I think people just love the Giratina, and they love those trainer gallery Pikachus, and they love having the trainer gallery. So I think those, I'm starting to come around and think Lost Origin will edge out Fusion and Chilling in the future. But I think they're all going to do well. I don't think you can go wrong. I didn't hear of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anniversary sets till I caught a video you posted recently. I only collected, but I'm buying a few LOB boxes even at the current price. I got you. I'm sorry. I made a video about it a long time ago trying to tell everyone about it. So I mean, you probably weren't maybe following the channel at that time. But yeah, they were a very good pickup right out of the gate for sure. Those and those legendary collections. But yeah, I mean, it's a great product. You know, I wish it'd be cool. Pokemon did an exact reprint. Pokemon's always got to do their own flares, you know. We'll reprint evolutions, but we won't put in, you know, all the original cards, and we're going to throw in all the alt arts and all these other fancy things. It's like, I think just a regular old card for card exact reprint would probably do pretty freaking well. Could you imagine if Pokemon just said, all right, we're going to do an exact reprint of Jungle, Fossil, and Base. No craziness. No. I wonder what it would do. I wonder what it'd be. I wonder how it'd do. I mean, I just think just the opening factor, just the opening of it would be, I don't know, it'd be fun. But then again, now that I'm saying that, it probably wouldn't do well because Yu-Gi-Oh! Already had higher rarities, right? Yu-Gi-Oh! Had secret rares and ultra rares, super rares. So they already had good hit rates, right? And I take that back. Pokemon couldn't do it. That's why. Because Pokemon's hollows were one every 3 packs. Could you imagine making a set now they'd have to make like a super limited release or never mind. I take that back. Pokemon couldn't do it. They didn't have rare enough cards. My bad. Scratch that. Scratch that idea, Alex. Danny, that's always the thought. I mean, here's the thing. Evolve these guys booster cases because they're so expensive and they're going to become more expensive. It's going to be a very hard illiquid item to sell, to be honest with you. You're probably going to end up selling the boxes individually in the future anyway because the prices are going to be so high. So in this case, if you're probably not going to be selling it by the case, I don't know how much it's going to matter if you open the case up. That's my thoughts on it. Unless you just really wanted to have that sealed case, Next thing you know, you have a bunch of empty wrappers. Nah, man. Hopefully you got more self-control than that. Hopefully. Yeah, TCG Player, we didn't talk about that, raising their shipping rates to $1.22. That's actually a huge deal. I mean, for people to now you can sell, lower value singles and not get hit with shipping costs and actually be able to make a little bit of money, which is nice. It gave everybody a raise selling singles on there, which is good, keeps sellers around. It's not much more for the buyers, like 22 cents, especially if you're ordering multiple cards already, you can get free shipping at $5 with most people. I think it's good. I think it was needed. I think people, selling those low dollar, 5-10 cent cards need to make a little bit, and you got to remember when you're paying fees and you got an envelope and a stamp and a top loader, you don't really make any money on a 99-cent shipping. But now $1.22, they can actually start making some money and getting some gains. So I like it. I'm not a huge TCG player seller, so it doesn't really affect me, but I'm happy for those people. I'm happy for anyone doing well, guys. You know me. I'm always happy for anyone doing well. Obsidian Flames is overlooked. I'll tell you why. The investing community doesn't like it because the Charizards are too easy to pull. But that's why the openers love it. And that's why almost every one of my streams, Obsidian Flames gets opened and gets asked for. And because of that, and because of just Charizard is, obviously Charizard, I think it'll continue to reduce that supply enough being open that even though the singles may not have value, just like Darkness Ablaze, the Charizard has no value. So even though the singles may not have a lot of value, the boxes, I think, will become scarce enough and actually move up, probably right behind Paldea Evolved. And so, I actually do like Obsidian Flames for an investment. And I do own some. I was wrong, man. I get it. I was wrong on that one, bro. I'll take it. I'll take the L. Take the L on my forehead, dude. You're right. It'd be a bad idea. It worked in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Had, secret rares and all that stuff already. That's why it worked. So I get it. Like reprinting like a Gold Star set. But like then it's just like the Gold Star sets with a lot of the Pokemon in those sets that are not really that popular. I don't know. I don't know how they could do it. I don't know. Pokemon can't really do it, I guess. Ever since I started investing in cases, the booster boxes, I've actually been enjoying collecting. It separates investing and collecting. Allows me to collect what I enjoy. Exactly. This isn't talked about enough. This is what I love about cases. So the one what do I want to call it? The one criticism investing always gets is, well, Alex, what are you gonna do? Display all your cardboard? It's like, no. That's the great part about it is you put it, it's in storage or wherever you store it, and it's just a bunch of cardboard. You don't think about it as your collection. You're not, always thinking, well, do I do this, do I do that? It's an investment, just like you put money into a 401k. You put the money there. You don't worry about what the stocks are doing on a day-to-day basis because you don't care. It's a long-term investment. That is what I love about that. You don't have to worry about, all the, buying and selling in the collecting side or the flipping side of things because it's out of sight, out of mind. It's in cardboard cases. It's an investment. I do like that aspect. Don showed up. Gifted memberships. What's up, Don? Barely made it. I have not picked up any new One Piece positions at this time. I'm very hesitant on One Piece right now. Very hesitant. I told you guys before, I'm very conservative with my investing. One Piece it was great. It was great before all this happened, right? That's why I was putting money into it. When all this craziness happened and the crazy price spikes to the moon, it gets me worried. It gets me worried that eventually Bandai is going to just slap us with reprints to oblivion, start making these new sets just printed to oblivion, and people really start to get crushed, and I don't want to see that happen. And so I've been very hesitant on talking it up or anything because I don't want to see people get crushed. I'm just going to say this. Just like investing in singles, One Piece is very similar to that right now. Be very cautious. It's a very new game. It's very low supply, and that's why the markets are so high. Be cautious. Nothing against it. Could continue to do great long term. It's very tricky right now where we're at with One Piece. There is a premium. There is a premium for sealed cases. That is true. But if you look at like a case of Team Up, you're not moving many cases of Team Up, and so especially if you're looking to sell in the future and you're looking to raise money. I mean, if an Evolving Skies box is $2,000 in the future, it's good luck finding someone to pay you, $12K plus. Very few people can afford that, and so you might have to crack it and sell it anyways. My point. It's easy to sell a case for like $1,000 or $2,000 usually, even $3,000. But man, once you get up in those higher thousands or tens of thousands, very hard to find buyers for those. I talked about Japanese product in another video. Guys, I tried to warn everyone all last year. I tried. I told you this was coming. Japanese product was in a bubble. And now that bubble has somewhat popped. And guys, here, I explained it in another video, but here's what happened, all right? After the boom, English product was very expensive and it was very unavailable. You couldn't find it. It led people to search out Japanese product to find something to open that was still Pokemon. And then, it was cheaper and they loved that. So they started to tell their friends, their family, everyone else about it. It started to gain popularity and more people started to buy it. The store, there's no manipulation here. This is all how markets work, right? The store owners saw this and they saw, hey, our Japanese product's starting to move quicker, right? People who sold Japanese. So they started to stock up more and they started to push that more and promote that and advertise their Japanese more because it was becoming more in the limelight. Because of that, it was drawing more and more customers in. Then the YouTubers picked it up. A lot of people started making YouTube content on it and started opening Japanese. Then the whatnots and everyone started opening Japanese products. And it just built this gigantic, huge surge of Japanese because it was still cheaper, more available. And everyone started to rush that way. Well, then, some people started to like it, right? They started to like the fact that the quality was better. They started to like the fact that the sets were different. They liked the fact that, whatever they liked about it, whatever they like about Japanese product. The issue is, right, it got pumped up to the moon. Then you had the people that wanted the free tendies go in, all the flippers and stuff. What's happening now is all the flippers and free tendy people are leaving. And also, all the people who aren't really true Japanese fans are leaving, right? Look, there's a lot of people that are going to stay with Japanese because now they found out they truly like it. But there's a whole other group that figured out, I don't really like this stuff that much. The only reason I was here is because everyone else was doing it. I couldn't find English product cheap. Now English product is widely available and it's cheap. I actually like the cards and be able to read the font or the text on the cards. I can't read the Japanese. I'm actually going to go back to English. And so we're seeing an exodus of people back to English. And so what's happening is Japanese has still got a huge following. It's not going anywhere. Nothing's happening to Japanese. It's just what you have now is Pokemon and all the story. Everyone's got such huge supplies of it, but now the demand is down. So it's just going to take a while to get through that surplus because you don't have as many people wanting it and you have too much of it now. And so long term, a lot of it will probably do well. I do still see English doing better than it in the near term future. If you want my opinion going forward, I think English is going to continue to be better. I think the regular mainline booster box sets, I would buy English booster boxes. And then for the, specialty sets like the 151s and things like that, we have seen the past that specialty sets have seemed to do better in Japanese percentage growth wise because English doesn't have booster boxes. All they have is ETBs or UPCs, things like that. And so if you want to go the Japanese route for specialty sets, that might be a better option. And so it's all just feeling out the markets, paying attention, you're remaining unemotional and seeing how things turn out. But I think that's what we're seeing with Japanese. We're just kind of seeing the wind get let out of the sails a little bit and letting things settle. But it's not going to be, any type of crash or, oh, it's never going to come back from this. No, it's just getting back to normal. Back to normal. But see, no one wanted to hear that during all the craziness. If I said that, I was a hater, right? Alex, you're just a hater. It's like, guys, let's be real here. This isn't going to last. Come on. Come on. How often do you feel the emotional investment ends up being the best one in this hobby? Emotional investment. I don't really know how to take that question. I don't know what you mean. You mean, all right, let's think. People just buying out of emotion. I mean, I think, okay, take like GameStop, for example, right? Or like Tesla or Nvidia. I think the emotional play can be very good. The emotional investment, as in long-term, 5-10 years after everything settles, after all the hype dies down, it's yet to be seen on a lot of things. A sealed product seems to hold its value. Even when it has times of people say it's emotional or buyouts or whatever, it does seem to hold its value pretty well and stay up and then continue to rise. Singles can have pumps and dumps. So I think it depends on what product you're talking about. But I think near-term emotional can actually serve you very well, jumping on bandwagons. Long-term, maybe not so well. I have investments in One Piece. I haven't been since, product got very scarce and the pre-release prices went through the roof. OP 5, 6, 7, 8, all that. So it's funny too because I get seen as like this wild crazy risk taker. I'm pretty actually low risk when it comes to my investments. It's pretty funny. And One Piece is just a little too risky right now. Magnus, man. I don't want to answer this, dude. Look, I'm just one person. All right, I'm just a little guy. I'm just a little guy with a YouTube channel. I'm no major person in this community, so don't let my opinion sway you, man. And it sucks because it means a lot to you and stuff. You just have to look at it in terms of like overall perspective. The most people were in this hobby and entered this hobby in the first gen and then in 2016 and on. And anything between that, it's just gonna have less popularity and less demand. So I think maybe some of your best, most popular, most sought after Pokemon may be able to do well, but I think it's gonna be hard for a lot of the cards in that era, in my opinion. Just my opinion, though, dude. I'm sorry, bro. I know nothing about Flesh and Blood. I never dove into Flesh and Blood. I can't give you any takes on that. Flesh and Blood TCG, One Piece TCG, and Union Arena TCG will dethrone Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! In number 2. See, I know nothing about Union either. I just don't know anything about. I can't even comment on that, man. I'm sorry. There's some questions I just can't take. I don't have enough knowledge on them. You think I should crack my CGC 9s and regrade with PSA? Looking for 9 equivalent. Risky? I mean, it's risky, but you know, Steve, have you a lot of experience grading? I mean, do you have a lot of experience pre-grading? I've had tons of luck cracking other slabs, BGS, CGC, whether it be 0.5 grades to upgrade to the next grade or just to cross that grade over. So you can do well with it. I mean, you know, CGC puts very clean cards in 9s. If if you're good at cracking cases, you're not going to damage it. You know what you're looking for. Of course you can do it. I mean, I don't think it's super risky. I've had I want to say 100% track record with everything I've done. I'm very picky with the ones I actually crack though. But so as long as you know what you're looking for, it's not super risky. I don't think you can do well with it. All right, guys, this just kind of went a little longer than I thought it would, but that's going to be it. I'm going to reiterate everything I said at the beginning of the video before you guys leave, though, because I know everyone wasn't here for that. So if you missed it, the Patreon will be announced on Monday. What the Patreon is not, it is not secretive information that you will not find anywhere else. I am not pumping myself up to be any type of guru, nothing like that. Okay, that's one thing it is not. I don't believe in any of that. What it is, it's a way to support me. If you just want to support the channel and help further the content and help support, me and continue to do this and upping the level of content, that's what it's for. The channel memberships will go away. It will go down to just a 99-cent tier if you just want to have fun and support me and have emojis. I'll add some more emojis. We can have fun with that. Whatever. But the 10% discount on the pack breaks. So if anyone likes to break packs, you will get a 10% discount on the pack breaks on the Patreon tier. So that's another benefit that will be added that has value. If you want more valuable content and knowledge, okay, I will be having 2 monthly videos. One will be a very in-depth dive on what's happening in the markets, investing-wise, plays-wise, business-wise. And I truly believe those videos will make you more gains throughout the course of the year than anything you would support me with in the Patreon. So that's kind of my goal, my promise to you. So that will be going on in there. There will also be a second monthly video, which will be like a collection investment audit video, which I think will be pretty cool. I'll bring anyone on that wants to come on. We can talk about your collection if just your collection goals if you're a collector, and everyone can kind of give their ideas on the best ways to go about it, what to buy now, what to wait on, what to maybe sell off, like what kind of budget do you have? Same thing with the investment wise. Talk about investments. What's a good play here? What's a good time to maybe move out of these items, maybe move into more of these items, how to best spend your money. And you kind of give your goals, and I and other people can give our ideas on the best way to reach those goals, whether it be your business, like how to grow your business. If you have like business goals, talk about like what things you're doing, where you're buying, where you're selling, what your price points, and everyone and me and everyone's going to give like advice. And it's going to be this good community of, growing. It's going to be a more serious type place to grow your business, your flipping, your investing, your collecting, and be more longer form interactive content. So that will be happening in there. And then, yes, there will be a higher tier if you do want any one-on-one with me, whether it be, through video chat or phone chat, whatever chat you want. And, whatever you want, whatever you need. Investing talk, any type of investing talk, any type of collecting talk, business talk, buying and selling, whatever it is you want to talk about, I will be at your disposal. So that will be a tier as well. And, it's not going to be anything outrageous. It's going to be affordable. It's literally a way to support me. If you want to support me, you know what it's not? It's not mandatory. You know what it also is not? It does not include the Discord. Discord's 100% free. It's going to be for now. And it's literally all it is, guys. So nothing secretive. No, not going to sell it hard. Not going to try and like push everyone in there. Like, oh, if you want the real content, it's going to be in there. I'm not going to make any content on this channel. Channel staying the same. But it's another layer up. If you're looking to take this serious. I know a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are just, you know, they are, you know, more casual. They enjoy the content. Maybe they dabble a bit, but they're not super in depth and serious, and that's fine. This will be for the people who are more serious. It'll have a space for you to come and get that extra bump that you're not getting. And so, hope you know you get some value out of it. And we'll see how it goes, and that will be announced on Monday. That's pretty much everything I had to say in this video. Don, I hope I get 3 months free. Man, Don, you need to get more than that, brother. What else we got going on? Any other last minute comments anyone said? Don, the price of the Patreon, the price for the tiers is going to be announced on Monday. I'm going to launch it on Monday. So we'll wait for that, and we'll go from there. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for being here. Happy weekend. Happy Friday. And I'll see you guys back here in a new video soon. We are out.